All right, so in today's video, we are watching basically a silver tank who also plays D.Va, silver D.Va. I think there's a couple hero swaps that happen, but they want to know, they've been trying to climb for gold for weeks. Why can't they? What's the problem? Why can't they climb to gold? They've been playing for weeks trying to get to gold. We're about to find out. It's up to the YouTube.
Here we go. Imagine if that Kiriko got one shot. I actually love that you DM'd your Kiriko dancing in the front door. Where am I is all part of the charm, right? Gotcha, Chad, with a prank. All right, here we go. You're playing D.Va. I do want to point out, I want to start talking about this a little bit. And it's not, this map for D.Va, especially on first point and third point, and probably second point, is not D.Va's strongest map. It's just not. It's just not D.Va's strongest map. Reason being, sightlines. So I always talk about sightlines. Like, see how this is just like a road down here? It's just like Sigma benefits so much from this so that when you're playing D.Va here, these are the type of situations. Oh, that's a cool skin. These are the type of situations where, like, if you're okay with switching to Sigma on this map specifically, it's one of Sigma's best maps, and you'll get way more value from Sigma than you will on D.Va. Now let me go back to that point of what I just said. It doesn't mean that you won't get value on D.Va. It just means that the amount of value, like what you have to do on D.Va on this map in comparison to what Sigma will have to do for the same value, will probably go in Sigma's favor. So just remember that, like, on this map specifically, this is a great Sigma map. A great Sigma map. This is one of those maps where, like, no matter what the meta is, maybe outside of like a Rein Rush comp that you can like do TP strats, like Sigma will be played a lot in this map. All right, so I gotta be real with you here, because I'm already seeing like an issue that I think will help you improve your gameplay. One, you're doing like 3 damage. Like if I was to like look at the scoreboard right now, I think we would see about 3 damage, like straight up. Second, because you're at a distance. Second of all, why haven't you looked for the Pharah? You watched the Pharah right in front of you fly into your team, like right from the get-go. The Mercy ain't pocketing. You can see the Mercy is on the Sigma. You just kind of didn't even recognize the Pharah went into the air. Look at this. Is by far one of the freest of limbs you would get as a D.Va. If a Pharah does this without a pocket, it will be the easiest amount of limbs you'd ever get. Straight up. Like you'll be so, you don't even understand. Eventually you need to kind of peel back on that. Like the damage you're doing right now is so limited. Like to give you an idea, the Pharah just died to a Junkrat. Okay? That should give you an idea on what you can do against a Pharah who's playing like that. Good reaction. That's a res. Yep, you meant to get the Hanzo. Nice job. Good job. Okay, I want to show you something in a second. I'm gonna wait for the right moment. Good job right here. By the way, this is an okay opportunity to D.Va ult. They switched Winston? That's gonna go in your favor so much. Well, not in your favor, but like... Bubble? Yeah, I was gonna say... You didn't know the Winston was there, so they bubbled off. Like, that's not you, but you now know they don't have a bubble. You now know they don't have a bubble. This is silver. Well, at least we went for the Pharah. Okay, so I'm actually gonna pause and go to the green screen right now. All right, chat. So what you're doing on D.Va, and I want to point this out because this is the problem. Okay? And you've been doing this from pretty much the get-go, and this is, I kind of paused it a little bit later than when you're doing it. Okay, so this is gonna be your movement speed when you're not shooting as D.Va. Having a good day. Okay, now this is you when you're holding your button down the whole time. Have a good day. Okay, do you see that? Do you see the difference in speed there? Are you seeing the difference in speed there? So you have a movement penalty when you hold left click as D.Va. And a lot of the times you would hold and left click on people from a mile away, so you're actually slowing yourself down when you do that. So something you need to do is you need to wait until the right moment to start left clicking so your damage is gonna matter. Examples of when to left click across the map, there's a Mercy in the air.
You shoot the Mercy, you can't have the support passive happen in there. That helps keep the Mercy at low HP at all times. They have to fall away from their pocketed hero, right? But as D.Va, you have that movement penalty, and you need to remember that, otherwise you're gonna lose value. You're gonna do 2 damage, and you're gonna be going a half mile per hour trying to get to him. So, you gotta improve on that. I'm already seeing that happen, and it's just something you don't want to keep doing.
All right, see what you do now. Now, the matchup you have is pretty good for you as D.Va. You have like a... Winston, the D.Va versus Winston matchup has gone a little bit more even now, especially because Winston can do a little more damage to your armor, but like, not even, but I like going up against a Winston, is what I'm saying. But they have no bubble now. Now, what I want you to do is I want you not to hold left click the whole time. Wait until you get into an advantageous spot rather than holding left click on them, because what you're doing is you're slowing yourself down, and you're giving them a lot of opportunity to get to wherever they want to. All right? I also want you to focus on trying to DM that Pharah the moment you hear the sound cue. Because, like, yeah, they didn't get anybody, but there's no guarantee that will happen. Like, there's no guarantee. Do I like cheese? Yeah, cheese is good. Okay, they're on to Brig now, so you know what? I'm not my favorite matchup, but if a Brig plays like that, you're gonna be just fine. Okay, you're gonna get your ult. Are you ready? I want you to ult this. I don't even... You got the point. You don't have to ult anymore. All right, now that you got the point, you're fine. You can ult it if you want, though. You're not gonna have a bubble. Apparently, they decided to run into you. I'm okay with this ult. This is fine. You're doing it to get your suit back. You have plenty of time. You're gonna get D-Max here, maybe? Good job flying away there. Now, health pack awareness. Where's the closest health pack? To your right. I really want... One thing that can help you and both your supports is health pack awareness. Look at this. Look at this right here. This will actually get you back into the team fight quicker than just sitting there doing nothing. You see what I'm saying? That will get you back into the team fight even quicker. So just be wary of that when you're playing. You know, I just had to pause for a second. What is going on? I just had to I had to stop for 1 second here. It just didn't, your team is capped this point, and they're just rushing you. I don't even know what's happening. They just keep going for you. That's what I'm confused by, right? I'm like, what is happening? I'm just surprised. It's... I mean, it's not, the thing is truthfully, what that team is doing isn't a bad play by any means, by the way. What they're... What the enemy team is doing is actually good because they're buying a bunch of time. So think about this. When you got here, I think it was about, 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock? Look at what's had to happen now. They've gone a minute and a half off the clock almost. And on top of that, just to continue on with that, look at everything else here too. You've had to use ultimates just to get out of spawn. Look at that. If you're the other team, or if you're wondering the best way, if you're able to hold like that, that was a great hold. Now, this Reaper trying to run back and survive that, etc., you know, if they can't stagger here, but overall, you're not... The other team's playing well. Can you do me a favor, too? I gotta see what happens with that D.Va. I can't believe you got somebody. I want you to, if that Winston dives your backline like that, just get the Winston. That Winston, if they do that, especially when you're on D.Va, will fall over. It won't be able to do anything. Well, I say that, you'll probably see in top 500 games where a Winston will jump in, bubble correctly, and then get out. But that's going to be, that's just a different, the play style on Winston's in top 500 is, really, the way they play is very methodical and how they want to do things. It's going to be a little bit different in Silver, for example, on how a Winston will play. So, when a Winston dives in there, it's free elims for you. It's just an easy elim for you. Just like that. The hitbox is, it's too advantageous for you as a D.Va not to be able to just go rocket them and just do a bunch of, crit damage. So, yeah, the Brig is... I mean, this is just... Now it's just getting wild. This is... It goes back to, this has just been a Silver game, and it's just... This is what's happening. You said nobody melees in silver? I mean, that kind of goes to like that kind of like min-max discussion we've talked about. You know what I mean? Like, where like, you can kind of min-max a lot of what you're doing. At least that's like how I explain it. A lot of the time, people just want to aim and click on them, and then eventually, when you climb more and more and you get your mechanics down, you're gonna start putting more melees in, right? It takes time though. Okay, I do want to point out, by the way, on this part of the video, going Zarya on Circuit Royale. This goes back to what I said about playing Sigma. I do like Sigma here. Granted, your team did well, so like it's one of those things. If it works, it works, but Zarya here is also an interesting choice. I also want to point out their comp right now is going to counter you. Just so you know. Be careful with your bubbles. You're just bubbling the bubble there. And I know you want energy, but I'm going to tell you, you want to know one of the biggest keys to getting energy? Patience. It really is. A lot of the time, you try to force getting energy, and like that's when you don't get energy. Is when you just bubble and stand there. A lot of players, and it's funny because, you know, it's an interesting topic about bubbles because in top 500, people are like, why are you shooting bubbles? And in top 500, we actually will shoot the bubbles all the time because it's target focus. But like, what I understand from that question though, is that in a lot of ranks, not shooting at a bubble is a huge focus, right? So if you just bubble in front of somebody randomly, right? Just like this, you're not gonna get the same energy until they start to engage you. So a lot of the time with your bubbles, you wanna be a little bit more patient rather than just bubbling and walk in front. Think about it from your point of view. If you're playing against a Zarya and your whole mindset is don't charge the Zarya, like right there, you see how easily you got energy? That's because that fight is engaging and you're timing your bubble. So just don't just like sit there and use a bubble to use a bubble. Like just, you'll get value and you'll find you'll have more consistent energy and uptime when you use it. So. That was such an interaction. I don't know how they didn't get the Kiriko. By the way, yeah, I was just going to say, Bastion is so good against Zarya. So, like, two things are important here. Your bubble usage and your positioning. Both of that was not good right there. So that's something you need to focus on a little bit more. And now you're back on D.Va. Keep in mind, chat might agree or disagree with me on this one. I do like the matchup. I do like the matchup of D.Va against Rein for the most part. And it's also going to be good against the Bastion. I do want to point out you also use too much DM and you're off the point, so you're not going to get the point. So. Nasty Fridge, thanks to 18 months to tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks to 18 months. And back in your suit. You actually, believe it or not, there's like a time in there where if you remech in front of a Rein, it won't shatter you. So that's why you didn't get shattered. I want to point out, you're doing 2 damage. Okay? Like this left clicking you're doing right here is doing 2 damage. You're doing absolutely nothing. Now, will you see me do this? Yes, but that's because I like to hit buttons. So if that's the case, then that's fine. By the way, you can eat the Bastion ult. Try to save your teammates with that. I know you want to fly away from it. There's this tendency on D.Va to, like, you only think about, like, your D.Va suit and, like, what you're going to do to survive whatever's happening there. When in reality, you can save your teammates from so much stuff that if you focus on that a little bit more, you'll be fine. Right there, I know you survived that and your teammates did, but that's not going to happen every time. So look for ways to eat the... You can eat the Bastion ult. You look up in the air and you eat it. And you actually, it tells you, it shows you the general area where it's going to be. All right, here we go again. Pretty tough start for your... Pretty tough go here, huh? Who was Alton? Did you just... I think they just try to go this way to get to the point. I think they got lost. By the way, how close is this? Look at that. That'd be kind of a cool alleyway. But like, yeah, I think they got lost. I legitimately think that's what happened. They got lost right there? Didn't know the map? Tried to go this way and went, wait a second, went up here, went, that's an elevator, I ain't going anywhere. And wait, what is this? This is cool. That's what happened, they got lost. Honestly, hey, listen, I bet you learned the map and that's what matters, right? By the way, you don't have to go to point here right now. You just want to, yeah, okay, good job. your Mercy just res in their spawn? Did your toy? What is going? I want to point out again, you're doing like 2 damage half the time, so be careful of that. I mean, like, it can take a long time to learn maps. Like, I still think we're still at a point right now on Midtown where players go, wait a second, you can take an elevator up on 3rd point to the high ground, or like a platform. Bibble, thanks for the 4 months of camera. Thank you, appreciate it. Like, that's a thing on 3rd point. And every time it happens, people are like, that's a thing?
Hey, yo,
it takes a lot of maps in the game, too. What a matchup that was. Honestly, I feel like the Baby D.Va Torb 1v1, if they don't have their Molten Core, or whatever, I mean, whatever, not the Molten Core, their Overload, it's like such a free limb for you. Where the D.Va ult go? I don't know. Listen, I don't expect, like, a D.Va ult value in this part of the map, so if I see a D.Va ult be used and it gets nobody, I'm just not surprised. What's your goal here? Yeah, go for Torb. That's a good play. I don't mind this. I don't mind this play, by the way. And I want to point something out, chat, because there's going to be some people here that are going to be, oh, the D.Va got charged. There's going to be also, big slam. That doesn't seem good. How does Junkrat feel about this? Oh, he's just vibing. Like, you aren't going to want to face tank the Reinhardt at this point, so, like, you going for high ground and going for flanks like this actually is not a bad play. At the same time, you got to also kind of, like, go at the pace of what your teammates are doing and kind of see how they're playing it, and obviously your teammates aren't having the best to go of things here, so, yeah, anyway. But getting that Elim's pretty important. If you can get 2 Elims here, that's good. You got 1, they're going to res maybe 1. No, you're Junkrat. Oh, you just have this. That Mercy just broke everybody's ankles. That Mercy just broke everybody's ankles. All right, it's time. Hide. Don't what? So this is why I'm gonna show like how to practice flight control or work on flight control, because what I'm watching here is like if you try to even do any good movement, you just get lost, spin in circles, and end up in the same spot, or like just get like stuck somewhere. Good job going high ground. Chat by now knows I love high ground. Good ult placement. That was very well placed. Nice job. I would say the number one thing that there's 2 things that I already can tell you would benefit on from playing D.Va, or when you play D.Va. Work on the distance that you're left-clicking people and getting to people, because like sometimes you're just slowing yourself down so much that you don't even get to them. Like, and 2, your flight control is just, it's a treat. If you practice that, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be in a much better spot. A much better spot. Still watching? You're gonna get low here in a second. Nice job by your Mercy. Good heal. Yeah. So I want to point something out to you, because like I'm gonna go back to what we were just talking about. You're getting lost. Like that's what's happening to you, by the way. Like you're getting lost when you're using your flight. So like you're missing out on so many limbs when that happens. Like you're just getting lost. You end up flying and then you just go somewhere random, and that's that. The DM usage could also be better. Yeah, I mean, but like, that's not the major issue here, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not ever gonna disagree on that. I feel like from bronze all the way to top 500, like defense matrix management can be used and like used better and used more efficiently. But I think like, from an overall point of view, like I think defense matrix isn't where I'm gonna really hard focus on as much right now, because it's gonna be a lot to like kind of take in with that at that point, in comparison to kind of showcasing the more obvious things that I'm seeing, because it's been okay. All right, we got Ramattra now. This is actually not a bad swap. Ramattra against their Rein is not bad. Unfortunately, they've gone Orisa on you, so good luck. Like, it's going to be an okay matchup for you. Not the best, but not the worst. Careful. So just so you know, Ramattra isn't a sniper. So when you go in the Nemesis form, you're not, like, the range isn't what you think it is. And I wouldn't chase the Sombra there either. Back up to the right-hand corner. You see where that pylon is? Go to there. Right here. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Don't overextend. Don't overextend. Don't overextend. Just keep playing around there. Nope. It's just... Don't go in the middle. Teammate got a good pulse. Nice pulse. Positioning. Play closer to walls. It's easier to get behind walls. Nice job. There you go. Good hold by your team. Good pulse bomb by your teammate, too. That wasn't like a bad... That wasn't bad there. It just kind of goes back to what we were talking about, though, at the same time. All right, let's see how this goes. It went D.Va. Random shield will take it. It helps your team. Remember, they can eat your Vortex. The D.Va, that is. So time your Vortex with the D.Va's defense matrix. Now. Good job. Well played. Try to use your Nemesis form when you're closer to them. If you Nemesis form and then run at them, it's going to be a lot easier for them to give you max value. Because you have to create, like, so much, like, but you have to, like, kind of make up a lot of ground, and then that gives them the opportunity there. So, like, don't be a little bit smarter with your Nemesis form pops. You see how, like, you're still very much out of range when you're trying to get to them? You're basically losing value on it. Good Vortex, by the way, on the D.Va. That was good. See that position by Ayari? That is a good position. Okay, you ready? I'll tell you when here. Not yet, not yet. This is fine. You did it about 1 second too early. But, like, just gives you the idea on the timing there. Good target focus. Get on the D.Va now. Drop a Vortex. Yeah, you should have this easily. There's no way you lose this. I mean, I at least think. You're ranging them again. Be careful of that. What else do you have? You have Val? Kill the baby D.Va. Kill the baby D.Va right now on point. You have free limbs. You're going to win this. Yeah, you're winning this. I can already tell. Good ult. You're going to have your ultimate. You just win. Good job. Good target focus. Like, but yeah, there's a lot you can work on right now. I'll explain it in a second. Good job. You got the dub, but, like, yeah, so we're gonna talk about this very quickly. Just to kind of talk about this just, like, very quickly, because it's D.Va. I want you to work on your flight control. That was going to help you a ton. And, like, change the distance on when you start holding your left click. You'll improve there. Ramattra, when you use Nemesis form, use it when you're much closer to them so you get full value rather than have to run 4 seconds at them in a straight line. You improve on that, you'll start to see more progress. But, like, you said, why aren't you climbing into gold yet? Because there's still some stuff you need to work on. But I think you're on the right track. But that is going to help you, like, tremendously if you do that, okay? If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't, sub to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. A lot of awesome videos on all of them. We pretty much every day uploads on all 3, so make sure to check them out. If you want to submit your own spectate and look in the description below, you'll see my Discord. And yeah, we record these live on stream. Look at the description, or look at the below the chat. You can see the Twitch chat. We have a lot of fun here, so make sure to stop by if you haven't. And with that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.